Biggert is recognized for 60 minutes as the designee of the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And this is, I rise to start the special orders for those members on the side of the aisle that are retiring or leaving at the end of this of the 2012. So, Mr. Speaker, I rise today not to say goodbye, but to say thank you. After 14 wonderful and productive years, I will be stepping away from this podium for the last time at the end of the 112th Congress. Representing the people of the 13th District of Illinois has been the great honor of my lifetime. Words cannot express the depth of gratitude I feel to my friends, colleagues, supporters, and staff who have made this time in Washington so cheerful and fulfilling. I can recall the first time that I stepped out onto the House floor as a member of this great body and said to myself, how did I end up in the U.S. Congress surrounded by the legacies of so many great leaders? Growing up on the south side of Chicago, I never expected to become a lawyer or a school board president, much less a member of Congress. At the time, few women went to college, let alone law school. Today, I know the path here was often the same for all who walk these halls. We are just Americans who love our communities and our country, and found ourselves pursuing that love through the service to others. Even among those who rarely see eye to eye, I know that we share a passion for creating a better future for the next generation, and that there has always been enough to bridge any gap that divides us. Maybe that's why I've always been known as a moderate. I like to assume the best about people with whom I disagree, at least until they prove me wrong. And thankfully, I can say without question that I've rarely been wrong, which is why my faith in this country and its future has never been stronger. But listening is the key. Lawmakers must listen to those around them as one American to another, as neighbors with shared values, without assuming that any difference of opinion is evidence of greed, ignorance, or malice. I was fortunate. I learned that lesson early. Maybe it was because I was the only female Republican in my freshman class here, but all my colleagues, chairmen, and ranking members seemed eager to come and say hello, to welcome me with a smile and sage advice. Their advice served me well, and in turn it allowed me to serve my constituents better. My hope is that our incoming class of lawmakers follows a similar path, and that they come to Washington ready to learn from those around them and benefit from the diversity of backgrounds and experiences that can be found here in the Capitol. Because we face great challenges, the economy, immigration, the debt, Social Security, and Medicare, on these items and more, we must find the answers soon if we hope to keep our country on a path to prosperity. And those solutions will only materialize if the members of Congress take a chance, work together, and care more about results than sound bites or the next election. Equally important, they must be willing to take a walk a few hundred feet to the other side of the rotunda. The House and the Senate are two sides of the same coin, and yet they have never seemed further apart. My proudest moments as a member of Congress have all been the result of collaborations. My work to keep homeless kids in school, bar genetic discrimination, or reform the nation's flood insurance program were all signed into law after extensive personal conversations with members of the upper chamber. We have great leaders here in the House, but they alone cannot maintain communications between the two greatest deliberative bodies in the world. It's up to all of us, and will be to all of you. So, Mr. Speaker, my advice is to work together across the aisle and across the Capitol I urge my colleagues to stay close to their voters and true to their principles, but never let compromise become a dirty word. That's what our constituents want, that's what America needs, and that's what has been made these last 4 years the source of great joy in my life. None of which, I should add, would have been possible without my wonderful staff. Before I close, I must give thanks to these individuals who have been with me for months or years and who have never let up at their service to the residents of the 13th Congressional District of Illinois. From casework to flag requests to building roads or passing laws, my staff has taken every challenge in stride, brought out the best in me, and did it all without ever seeking recognition, praise, or a raise. I also want to thank the great committee staff at Financial Services, the Education and the Workforce, and Science, Space, and Technology, as well as the team at Ethics with whom I worked for several years. And thank you to the unappreciated staff here on the House floor who always keeps the debate moving forward. Most of all, I'd like to thank Kathy Leiden, the best chief of staff and friend that a member of Congress ever asked for. Without her, I would not be here, and without her, I would not have been able to assemble one of the smartest and most capable staffs in Washington. So, thank you. Thank you to my colleagues, my staff, my friends, my family, my supporters, and even my critics who have helped me to grow, to learn, and to serve the people of Illinois. I have always viewed public service as a privilege, not a career, and you have all made this the fondest privilege of my life. With that, I would yield to... yes, sir, I would yield.
I thank the gentlelady for yielding. I was in the cloakroom.